Hello everyone, it's Dave, M0OGY, with a UK radio review of the new Stryker SR-955HPC multi-mode 10 metre amateur radio transceiver. Now then, it's only just been released in the USA. It's only been out a number of weeks. I think there's been a couple of reviews on YouTube from the American techs, and I think one was CB Radio magazine, which I thoroughly enjoyed. So after seeing that, I thought it'd be maybe worthwhile getting hold of one to bring a bit of a UK take on the proceedings. So here we have it. It's commonly known as an export radio. They are sold as a 10 metre radio, and as long as they're approved, they're legal for radio amateurs to use. But the majority of these are sold to CB radio operators and freebanders. Totally up to you guys what you choose to do with them. I'm not condemning or condoning either. It's your choice. Anyway, so without further ado, we'll have a look around it. It's around the size of a Magnum S9. It's fairly well made. It's got a black fascia, as you can see, and a chrome surround, as most of this type of radios have. Got some nice new features. There's a lot of new features that's not been available on this type of radio before, which is a good thing. So we'll have a look at the controls and work our way from left to right and see exactly what it does. There we are. Right, starting from the left, you can see there, we've got three push button controls, square controls. Your top one's to get it in function mode. You've got a scan facility. Press it in and it'll scan, as you can see now. Do it again. Yeah, that's it. You press it for scan facility, it'll scan. It says did have it in the scan mode a minute ago. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Moving down, we've got colour, which changes your display, or colour as it's spelling, but we can forgive it for that, as it's an American radio. Right, that alters the colour of the full display. You've got green and blue. You've got an absolute horrendous red that you can't read. That is absolutely shocking. Red and blue, red and green, red, green and blue, and colour loop. Now that's for you sort of techno buffs who want it scrolling round in your car or your truck or in your shack even. It's not my thing, but there again, I prefer green personally, or blue, the dark blue or the green. Get rid of that red 1 minute. That's it. Blue, that's the one I like. Green. So it comes at the S meters, just over 1 inch square, large S meter. At the top you've got signal strength, you've got power, which goes from 0 to 100 watts max by the look of that. You've got a VSW average built in, or some of our UK friends, a SWAR meter. Now then, underneath it does come normally programmed with what you can see at the bottom, SR-955HP, but you can actually program a message, your call sign, whatever, as I have done mine. Alright, moving across, we've got twin pots we've got the larger one on the outside and the inner one. One's power, one's monitor. Well, monitor's basically sort of a talk back function, so you can set, you know, your microphones so you can hear them yourself, or, you know, obviously some of the other functions you can listen to. Moving across, you've got a 5-position mode switch. Again, if you just have a look at the display, as you move that, it tells you. So there we are. Mode lower sideband, upper sideband, AM, which is amplitude modulation, FM, frequency modulation, and a PA function. Don't see a lot of use for that unless it's like the good old days where you used to shout at people out your car and scare them. That was a long time ago, but yeah, that used to be quite funny doing that. Anyway, moving across, that's your mode, as we said. You've got a 6-digit frequency counter. There's all your reading for your clarifier and RX and everything on there as well. Obviously all that changes colour with your display if you change it. Right, you've got your channel change knob, which is fairly straightforward, but that does activate various other features, which I'll show you in a bit. Right, going across the bottom first, the twins, we've got where are we? Fine and coarse clarifier, as you can see there. Fine and coarse. You can actually alter that, which I'll show you in a minute, the steps. Next one along, next twin pot, is something my good friend in Essex will love. It's where are we? Volume and delay. That's for your echo function. Believably, I think it's got a very good echo board in it, if there is such a thing in the world. But it has got echo, and obviously that's more aimed at the CB radio market. I think you'd be shot at dawn if you use that on 10 metres. Certainly not something I'd be doing. Right, next along we've got mic gain and RF gain. That's them two there. And then finally at the bottom we've got good old volume, on, off and squelch. There, volume and squelch. Then you've got a 4-pin mic socket, which is on the front fascia, which is also a good point. It wouldn't be a bad thing to have 2 of these in, and you could have 2 different mics, like some of the Magnums have that, like the S45 that I own. Right, moving above that, you've got at the moment it's in what they call VFO mode, which it's continuous tuning. We'll show you what it goes from to. On continuous tuning, it works this radio from a lowly 24 megs, I believe, to just over 30, which is very good to say the least. Right, let's there we are, 30. Oh, it's going right up. 30. The top of the band on the continuous tuning is 30.105 megs, and the right at the bottom of the band is 24 megs. So that's very wide. Right, I'll show you the next feature which alters that. So if you want it channelized, you know, the guys who want to run it on CB radio, there you are. You've got a channelized thing there, band 9. So it's on band, it showed you the bands. Look, band 9, it's on 20, channel 19. Well, I'd like to hazard a guess if you went down on the bands there. Look, band, where are we? Yeah, that's it. Look, band 6, I believe, is yeah, that alters your band, you see. So then you put that back. Yeah, that's it, channel 19. and it's been programmed for the channel 19 on CB 2781. Not by me, I hasten to add, but that's where it's been programmed with the programmable cable, which we'll show you in a bit. Right, moving along, next one along, so that alters your band or continuous VFO. The next one along, as you can see there, you've got dim. Right, so you flick it to the left for dim. Now how that works, as you can see, we've got dim 31. So with the channel control, yeah, that alters it. Look, it goes all the way from off to number 1, off, look, and then it goes, you can't go backwards, right around to 31. That's your dim function, so you can alter it to suit your vehicle. You've got a centre slot there, as you can see, and then next you've got a high cut on and off filter. That's a high cut receive filter, which if it's any good, that's a good idea. Next along, we've got automatic noise limiter and noise blanker. We've got Roger bleep on and off, as you can see, there we are. Roger bleep off, Roger bleep on. It has 6 programmable Roger bleeps, if that's your bag. There's your programming switch, look there. Then next one along is tone squelch. Now that does nothing, basically because you need to buy an additional CT CSS board. Now that's basically for radio amateurs who use repeaters on 10 meters. Reading the manual, it does say it's an extra cost option. Then further along, the last one, echo on and off. Again, it'll certainly be off with me, but for those who like echoes, it's got apparently a good echo unit built in with those controls under it. So there you have it. So that's took a brief look at the functions and controls of the radio. Not seen anything I really dislike on it, other than behind these switches I would like to see maybe a cover, you know, like a bit of finish, but yeah, it's me maybe being a bit OTT on that, but otherwise seems very nice. Right, I'll show you what comes with the unit. You've got a few pages in a user manual. You've got a radio bracket, which is very much like one for a Cobra 148, which is zinc and yellow passivated. You've got a bag of parts, thumb screws, some like spacer washers to stop it getting rig rash, as I call it, on the casings. You've got the programming cable there in a bag. Now that plugs direct in the back of the radio, which is a really good idea, unlike the early Anytowns and Capos where you have to take the bottom panel off, thus possibility of voiding a warranty. Now this is a strange thing. On some of the other reviews I've actually seen on the YouTube, one of the guys said his microphone came with the badge that had fell off. Well, I don't think it's fallen off. Looking at this microphone, it's a DM350 microphone, which has been about since God was a lad, and they're a very cheap replacement mic. Now I don't know, it's probably got brilliant audio, it works, it's suited to this radio, that's no problem, but it looks a bit cheap and nasty to me for a radio at such value, especially when you look at the box and the photograph. I don't know if you can see that because of the light shining on it, but the microphone is a totally different design on the box, and indeed, there, yeah, you can see it better than there. On the handbook it shows a totally different mic, which looks a lot like a Stalker 9 FDX type of microphone, and it looks better quality to me. So I'm a bit curious why they've packaged one of these DM350 types with no badges on it. Looks a bit of a last minute thing. So I don't know, maybe some later production examples will have what's being shown on the box, or maybe they won't. So that's that. And the only other gripe, which probably doesn't matter, I'm sure it'll work, is a power lead. It's a stock Uniden power lead. It's got one of them horrible plasticky fuse holders in it, which get hot and melt if you're really unlucky. I'm just a bit dubious with a radio that's advertised at doing over 60 or 80 watts running such a bell wire as a power lead. But otherwise, that's all I can see, which you know, I can see any issues with it really. So what does it run as outputs? The output, now then, it uses 4 FQP13 N for November 10 MOSFET transistors on the output stage. Allegedly it'll produce 60-70 watts out the box. Hopefully I'll do some tests into an accurate meter. We'll see what it does, but that's what it's advertised as doing. So it's quite a high power radio. Right, well we'll just have a moment. We'll have a look at the rear panel of the radio and see what it looks like on the back of the chassis. Right, we're looking at the rear panel of the Stryker radio. As you can see on the left hand side, it's got a mighty large heatsink. All this makes me wonder why, when sort of the 2 metre and 70 centimetre radios have built-in fans, you know, heat sensing fans, thermostat control fans, that the 10 metre guy manufacturers can't put the same on these. I'm sure they're saving a few grains of rice or whatever, but it's not a good thing. It's okay on SSB and modes that you know, aren't continuous, but sort of high duty cycle modes like FM, I'm sure it'll get rather hot very quickly. Right, moving across, we've got a standard SO239 Uhf Antenna Connector. There's a serial number there. That's a good serial number, isn't it? I don't know how they read these serial numbers, but looking at that one, I reckon that's the second one ever made. It certainly ends 00002, so maybe not, I'm not sure, but very interesting. Right, anyway, moving across, we've got the power socket, which is a Uniden, we'll get it in focus, which is a Uniden 3-pinner. Above that we've got an external speaker socket, which is a 3.5 phono. In the middle we've got the data cable plug, which is brilliant. You can plug your cable in your computer, program it, no taking cases off, no voiding warranty. And then you've got your CW key. Obviously CW Morse code is used on 10 meters, so ideal for that, but I'm sure the intended market, that won't be used very much. So there you have it. That's the rear panel of the Stryker. Looks all fairly standard stuff. Right, we're just having a look at the side. It comes with a warranty seal on it. Now if this was a sample or I'd bought it myself, I would take the risk and remove that and show you the circuit board, which is surface mount technology, which seen the other videos, it's very nicely made inside. It's got some large pots to adjust, and generally it's nicely made, but unfortunately I've been loaned this one from a good friend of mine. I'll tell you who at the end of the video, and I for one aren't going inside someone's radio, and especially because this radio does come with a 3-year factory warranty, and if that goes, that's it. So on this one I won't be going inside it, unfortunately. Not that I don't want to, but there you go. Right, we're back. We ain't done bad. It's not been a bad radio. Hopefully in the next few days, if I get a chance, I will try it on 10 meters with hopefully a couple of local radio amateurs. We'll see how it works on all modes, see how we get on with it. I would certainly give it an 8.5, possibly 9 out of 10 for a start. Just let down by sort of ancillary parts really that I don't personally think is up to the job, or the microphone maybe okay, but the radio's a cracker. It's got some really good features. It's forward thinking. I certainly like the way it's got the additional plug on the back to program it. A lot of people seem to be quite scared on the radio forums about surface mount technology. I personally don't think it's anything to be worried about. All your PCs and modern appliance, items, your hi-fis and things have it, so I don't think it's such a devil as people are pointing it out to be. I think in a mobile environment, having SMT, it'll take the shock and bangs and things a lot better, but yet you do need hot soldering guns and things to lift components, and things like that. So it's certainly not an average repairman's job, but good repair guys can work on these as well as anything else, but your average guy at home doesn't really want to be messing about inside with a massive soldering iron, I don't feel. But there again, if it's well made, you don't need to take the warranty seal off. Golden screwdriver merchants all hate it. But there again, they're not designed for twiddling about with. So first impressions are very good. As I said, we'll try it on 10 meters, and at this point I really do wish to thank my friend, who's one of the North Lincolnshire CB radio group guys, Alan, Bigfoot. He's lent me a radio in the past for one of the other reviews, and he's a sound guy. In fact, the other radio he'd loaned me, he'd never met me before. We really do get on well. He's a big 10-meter radio man. He likes to buy the new ones coming out, as I do, but you can only afford so many. I've got a few myself, but we had a chat on the CB radio the other day, and he said he'd got this one coming in. It's coming from America. He's imported it. It was sat in customs for a while. I'm not sure whether he got stung as normal. I know I do. Whenever I bring anything in from the States, our friends at the customs seem to really get me bent over for sure. But I don't know about that. But I think they're about £300 or so. These, they're not a cheap radio, but they're a good radio, and as long as it performs as well as it looks, I'm sure it'll go down very well. So we'll catch you hopefully on part 2 if I get time to put it on the air, and I hope you've enjoyed the UK look of the new Stryker SR-955HPC. Best 7.3s from Dave, M0OGY, North Lincolnshire. Good night, bye bye.